Ascension Living.
We are so excited this morning. I am anyway. There is nothing like getting lost in a good book. The question we all have is, do you know a good book for someone to read? Well, happily for us, we know Kelly Flemings. He's our inside guy here from the Soddy Daisy Community Library. Good to see you.
Great to see you too, Julie.
I have long wanted to pick your brain on the air and say, Kelly, bring us a few fan favorites, and that's what you've done this morning.
I have. I've found a couple of gems that you've got to read.
I love the fact that one of them is really adolescent literature. It's intended for a middle school audience, but sometimes as an adult, those can be fun books to read.
Oh, there is so much incredible literature coming out in the middle grades. I mean, anything from 4th through 8th grade. There's some stellar work out there that you've got to add to your library.
Okay, so what are you loving about these and what have you brought?
All right, well, the first one I want to talk about is Foul Play.
Okay.
It's by Kristen O'Donnell Tubb. She's one of my all-time favorite young reader authors. This is her 11th book and it's a mystery.
Ooh.
It's fantastic. She's written one mystery before. The thing I love about Kristen Tubb is her characters are so real, and her craftsmanship, the words she chooses are just spot on, but every single book has a great sense of heart, and Foul Play is no exception.
You know, you can get lost in a good book for all types of reasons, right? And sometimes it's just the entertainment value only.
Exactly.
Sometimes you want a book that makes you feel. As a young reader especially, you kind of want both. And you do want the value, and the importance of that word choice is so important because their vocabulary expands as they read.
Exactly. That is an excellent point, because whenever the more children read, the greater their vocabulary becomes, and it just enhances their entire life.
Okay, so this one could be a fun read, even potentially for a parent and child to read together.
I would recommend this as a family read, because everyone has something to gain from reading it. It's hysterical, but it's very moving. And the great thing is the storyline, the main point is family is wondrous.
Oh, I like that. It's also a great way for parents to hook into what's happening in their child's lives, right? Because it's the
Exactly.
culture of the young people. I like it.
Very much so.
Okay, what's the other one?
The next one is The Lost Story by Meg Schaffer. And do you remember reading the Chronicles of Narnia growing
yes,
up?
how do you not?
Wouldn't you love to be able to go into the wardrobe and knock on the back of the door and go through again?
Yeah.
Well, that's what you've got with The Lost Story. It's not Narnia, but it was inspired by C.S. Lewis's Chronicles. And it's a wonderful story about these two teens who go missing for 7 years, or 7 years, 6 months. I'm like all over the place.
That's okay. Wait,
6 months.
they're lost for 6 months.
They're
they go
lost for
missing
6 months in a West Virginia state forest. They come out in perfect condition, and this picks up 15 years later when they come back to town, and they have to go and help find a missing girl who's lost in that forest. And there's another land behind that forest.
So
that they
it's
can
not
go
a
to.
bad lost, it's just a lost.
It's just they're lost, and they have discovered this incredible magical world, beautiful landscape. The writing is gorgeous. You are transported to this beautiful world.
You know, I just can't overstate, for me as a reader anyway, the importance of word choice. I was telling you, I just finished reading a book, All the Colors of the Dark, by Chris Whitaker, and it's been a long time since I've read a book that captivated me quite that way. And it was one that when I finished it, I went back, we were on vacation, and I went back to reread portions of it because it had just been so beautiful or poignant. And you want a journey that makes your mind open a little bit, don't you think?
And your heart open.
Yeah. So at the library, I know you've been very busy over the summer with all of the campers that you've had and all of that, but sometimes choosing the right book, like I said at the beginning, is a challenge. Do people ever come to you and say, Kelly, this is kind of what I like, can you recommend something?
That's actually one of my favorite parts of being a librarian is when people come to me and it's like, I enjoyed this book, what would you recommend with a similar theme or style or subject matter? And it's wonderful to help them find their next great read. But one of the most fulfilling things for me is when we have kids come in who are not readers. They just haven't found the right book yet.
Right.
So after I get to talk with the kids and get to know them, I can usually 95% of the time find the book that will start their reading journey.
Okay, so here's your reading journey for this month, because we're going to do this every month with Kelly. He'll be back next month with some other ideas for you to add to your list. So Foul Play, that's a newly released one, right?
Correct.
That's the mystery that's good for everybody, really. And then the Lost Story is the one that will take you back to your Narnia type feel.
Exactly.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
At Wedemark Keith, we believe in a different kind of attorney-client relationship. It's our commitment to stand by your side, fight for you, and treat your case with the care